better not have no plans tonight.
Movie time and it's feeling right.
You're looking for a love that lasts. You'll find it at Romancing the Podcast. Ooh, ooh, baby, you had me at hello. Ooh, I love you.
I know.
Ooh, ooh, baby, you're the wind beneath my wings. Ooh, ah, I'll have what she's having.
Thank you for tuning into Romancing the Pod. You had us at hello. I'm Paige Wesley.
And I'm Todd Schlosser, which means this is the Romancing the Pod. I forgot how we started, Paige. I'm panicking. I'm spiraling right now.
You assigned me movies. We watched them.
That's right.
We
That's
talk
right.
about them.
Yeah. That's the shtick. And Paige made us watch this week.
Deliver Us From
Eva. And Paige, I'm assuming you've seen this before.
No, this is my first time.
Great.
And boy, was I shocked by the ending and have thoughts.
Paige, I am so glad that in this month, we're going to watch a lot of films that are created by Black people to celebrate
Yes.
Black History Month.
Correct.
I'm so glad we started off with one that's more or less just Shakespeare.
Yeah,
I feel like us as two white people are very qualified to talk about this movie specifically because this movie is like Shakespeare. It's literally Shakespeare. It's
Yes.
Taming of the Shrew almost to a T, I think.
Yes.
It almost feels like they were just like, okay, so then this character speaks and then this character speaks and then this character speaks and like they are like trying to stay that true to it feels like.
Well, okay, but here's the thing about Taming of the Shrew. In Shakespeare plays, people kidnap people and fake their death all the time. He's like super into it. But when you translate to modern day, that
Paige, I
has so
loved it.
many more implications. Oh, I was screaming.
it.
I was having the best time in the world.
Well, Paige, I was watching this and Natalie kind of came in because she had a personal training thing. And so she came in and then like sat down next to me and started watching this. And I was like, when they grab him and throw him in the back of the truck,
Yes.
I go, oh my God, are they going to kill him? Like as a joke.
Yes, I was like, did they kill him?
And Natalie was like, I don't know what's going on. And then when they walk into the like salon or whatever the female barber shop would be.
Salon, yeah.
The salon. When they walk into the salon and they like say something and then we don't see what they say, but she like faints. I was like, oh my God, are they
killed
going
him.
full ass Shakespeare on this? I was shocked. Because yes, the modern day implications of faking your death like you're Huck Finn or whatever, like that's nuts.
Not even, well, and here's the thing. He didn't want to fake his death, right? They forced him to fake his death
right.
by filing a fake police report and then doing a real kidnapping, right?
They're straight up going to federal prison. Yes.
I mean, when she's like, I can't forgive you at the end, I was like, girl, you forgave your sister's boyfriend who kidnapped him and falsified police records.
Right.
But all that aside, this movie has so many good little tiny jokes by like side characters, just like commenting on things that are happening, which is Shakespeare always does do that. But like that is the part that doesn't often translate into modern adaptations of Shakespeare that I think this movie does really well. And when he comes to the funeral, when the two salon coworkers sitting next to each other, he's like, this is the best funeral I've ever been to. I was like, yes.
It is.
Yes, it is.
If the dead shows up at the funeral, automatically the best funeral I've ever been to.
Best funeral.
Looking at you, dead. Sorry.
There's literally only 2 or 3 things that could happen. Like, if the person you're funeraling shows up, that means either A, they weren't dead to begin with. Hooray. B, they have a twin you did not know about. C, full-on ghost. And any way you slice that, that's the most interesting funeral you've ever been to.
Yeah, I wasn't invited to Patrick Swayze's funeral. I was very hurt by that. So yeah.
Of course.
I missed the actual ghost. Oh my God, Paige.
The hors d'oeuvres, you take them with you.
That's not what I was going to say, but I appreciated that joke. That was funny.
That's why the funeral was great.
Paige.
Yes.
We may cut this from the episode because it might be too offensive. But
Oh no, Jesus Christ.
what we should have done is put up posters for the movie Ghost 2 at his funeral and been like, nah, he's just filming the sequel. Anyway.
Oh no.
Maybe we cut it. I don't know.
Leave it in. Because you know what? The laughs for that joke, You take them with you.
I hate it. But Paige, yes, this movie is just Shakespeare.
Yes.
And I'm kind of into it.
You love Shakespeare movies.
I do.
enjoy Shakespeare movies. This was a good time.
I mean, it's 10 Things I Hate About You. It literally is a few years after 10 Things I Hate About You, like, won the teen movie scene that summer.
But this is closer to the Shakespeare.
It's way this is way closer. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I did not immediately realize that we were going to be that close to the Shakespeare. So when we opened on a funeral, I was like, holy crap. Like, who killed LL? Like, what?
And then he shows you. Like, when you say that in your mind, which arguably is probably in the first 10 seconds of the actual movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yes.
Like, past the awesome credits.
We have great credits.
Yeah.
And then we open on this. Yes.
So glad you like the credits too. I have thoughts
Love
and
the
we'll talk
credits.
about them later. But yeah, I was like, who killed LL? And he's like, these dudes killed me. And I was like, thanks, LL.
Thanks,
because
LL.
it was like right as I had the thought 15 seconds into the movie.
There's so many, like, this movie was just a fun time.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to talk about it
Me
because
too.
we're going to have a lot of things to scream about and laugh about. And that's great.
Yeah.
But one of the things that blew my mind while I was watching it. So like we get that initial funeral and LL is the voiceover. And then we don't have another voiceover for an hour and a half.
Paige, I forgot there was a voiceover at the beginning and I got scared when I heard the voiceover. I was like, oh my God, what is happening?
Yeah, because and it's not just beginning and end. It's like we have it at the beginning, and then at one point in the movie for like 2 lines.
It's like the beginning of the third act.
Yeah,
it's like right at that change from second to third act. Yeah.
Yeah. So he just pops in to be like, so you could see how they were a little upset. And that's it. That's like all we get and so you're like, but voiceover LL, I don't get it. Like what?
And it's not like, okay, we start at the funeral, right? So
Right.
it kind of makes sense to bring that back as a narrative device when we arrive at
Sure.
the funeral.
Correct.
It could be at the beginning.
Right.
Like the beginning of the funeral scene, not the
No.
end of it like we were seeing at the beginning. But no, it's
It's like 4 scenes before that.
yes, exactly. Yeah, it's like 10 minutes before that. Very funny. Yeah.
I again had forgotten there was a voiceover and I damn near screamed. I was like, what? Oh my God, that's right. There was a voiceover at the beginning of the movie.
I mean, yeah, I did remember. I wasn't like, oh, why are they doing voiceover? Because like you remember, but like initially it's been so long. I was like, what is happening? But yeah.
Also, her sister should not marry that cop. We don't trust that cop.
Yes, he kidnapped somebody and falsified a government record about it.
I real talk did not trust him even before that because he kept asking about her money and that's not his money.
Oh, you mean the fund or whatever?
Yeah, I was like, no. How about no, sir?
I'm going to say this, though. If Natalie had 4 sisters and her older sister, like, had all the money that their parents left them, and then her older sister had convinced the 3 younger sisters that they didn't need any of that money, I'd be like, oh, yeah, she's evil as shit.
Sure.
She's a terrible person, even though we don't need the money. Like, it's fine.
Right.
But, like, that's an evil thing to do. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't seem like it was a manipulated thing, but I would assume that.
I felt slightly differently about that because I felt, and the movie doesn't spend a ton of time on it. We don't go into it.
Yeah.
To me, it felt like the sisters all talked about it and they were like, look, we're all fine. You worked 2 jobs to fucking raise us and all of this shit. Just take it. Do something nice for you for once. And that would not have bothered me.
Yeah.
I just needed a slightly different line reading on like why they were giving her the money. Where it was just like, look, she took care of us. It's like the fund's just been sitting there. And like, she gave up so much of her life to make sure we had good lives. We have good lives now.
And she did.
It's fine for her to take it, right?
Yeah, 100%. I kind of do think like we don't see that scene and it's not positioned like Ava manipulated them.
Right.
And I do kind of buy that because she did work so hard to like put them through, like literally put them through college. Or one of them I think is still in college, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
and med school, put one of them through med school.
Yeah. So like they don't need the money. And yeah, Ava sacrificed a lot to get them in that position.
Well, and I'm sure that's where some of that money came from. I'm sure that like as she was putting them through college and stuff, they were probably pulling from that fund or whatever.
Yeah.
So for a hot second, I was like, oh, we're giving her all of it? No, you know what? She raised them. That's fine. And then I immediately put it out of my mind. And then later when they split it, I was like, no. Because I didn't want that stupid cop to get any. Like, I was like, can we make sure he doesn't, can she say no to him? Because he, first of all, has been asking about a bunch of money that's not his this entire fucking movie.
Yeah.
And pressuring her to ask her sister about it. I fucking hate that. And then he faked LL Cool J's death. and kidnapped him.
Yeah. I mean, yes, like he is also going to go to jail forever. I mean, not that LL Cool J is like a great guy. Most of this movie, I think he does grow a lot over the movie because of Ava.
I feel like 70% of this movie, he's a good guy.
I think that's fair, yeah. But like, I still think on like their first date when it's clear he had just finished reading the Chuck Palahniuk book Choke.
Yeah.
Because he convinced her to like go over there and hug him or whatever.
Yes.
Like I thought that was very funny. But he does become kind of a good guy over the course of the movie.
I mean, I feel like what you're forgetting is like this one very crucial piece, Todd. And I feel like you should know it, but ladies love Cool J.
Yeah. LL Cool J, baby. That's how it goes.
Indeed.
Yep. And listen, Gabrielle Union certainly does in this movie. So yeah, you're not
Oh my
super
God.
wrong.
Ageless beauty.
On LL?
Her and Megan Good. Well, I mean, Ella also looks great, but
Yeah.
Megan Good and Gabrielle Union look like they haven't aged a day since
I
this
know.
film. And that's fucking incredible for them. And I'm so happy for them.
I think Megan Good was just like, I mean, not recently, but like,
Essence Atkins, too. Essence Atkins and Robin Lee also look
Yeah, they
fantastic.
all look
All of
amazing.
the women in this movie look fantastic.
yes, they all look amazing. I do have questions about Eva's first boyfriend. Was his name?
Lucius.
Oh, it was Lucius.
Lucius.
I thought it was Luscious Johnson, and I was like, that is a porn star name, and if it's not a porn star name, I want it to be my porn star name. Like Luscious Johnson, and then Lucius. Okay, that makes sense.
Lucius.
I was like, there's no
Lucius.
way I'm hearing this right, and I wasn't. But
No.
honestly, dibs on the porn name if it's not taken.
I mean, yes, if you want to give somebody the first name Luscious, I'm all ears. But like,
They call me Lush.
that was like the nickname that the girls at the salon had kind of given him was Luscious Lucius.
Oh, that's why I was hearing that. Okay.
That's why you were hearing it,
Okay,
yeah?
okay.
Anytime someone names anyone Lucius, it makes me think of, and I am sorry to bring this up, I apologize in advance. Remember that I'm a millennial who grew up before we knew all the things. R. Kelly's Trapped in the Closet has a character named Pimp Lucius, who is a pimp that pretends to convert to Christianity to run a grift. Because, of course,
That's in a song. There's a guy named Pimp Lucius.
Pimp Lucius.
And in the song, he converts to Christianity for a grift?
Yes.
Like, what happens in the third verse? Like, that sounds
Oh.
like too much for a song.
Buddy, this is like episode 18 or something like that. And also, it's Pimp Lucius has a speech impediment, so he stutters.
How do we know it's Pimp Lucius that has the speech impediment and not the artist?
So, R. Kelly sings all of the different characters.
Does he do voices? Does he? Hang on.
Sometimes
Does
he gives
does
them voices.
He does the voices?
Yes.
Paige, I have to let you go for at least 24 hours so I can consume all at least 18 episodes of what is the Pimp-licious saga.
First of all, I think there's like 44 episodes. I've only seen 22 of them. But also, don't give that man any money.
Fair.
I guess steal them if you want. But like, he needs to be in prison. He needs to not have money. This is a recollection from way in the back before times. And, but yeah.
I'll wait until Brian Cox does the audiobook. It'll be fine.
There you go. There you go. But yes, anytime I hear the name Lucius, I think of Pimp Lucius.
As you should.
Yeah.
And now forever on, I'm going to think of Russell Crowe as Pimp Luscious. He's the Pope's pimp.
Yes. Well, no.
That's a horror virgin reference, kind of.
It is, but also I feel like the Pope doesn't need help, and that's one of the big problems. Actually, current Pope's doing okay as far as the Pope shouldn't have pimps, Todd, because of who they'd be pimping.
Paige, no, I'm aware.
It's so bad.
Yeah. I didn't want to think that deeply about a joke I just threw off the cuff.
I can't help it. Catholic Church. I'm sorry.
I get it. Yeah, a lot of shame, a lot of guilt.
Yeah.
But Paige, one question.
Sure.
LL Cool J was like fucking the mayor, right? Like, there's no way the mayor would react that way to his regular meat guy. You know what I'm saying? This is like some meat guy he just met. There's no way he's going to be like, this guy's oh, this is your girlfriend? I've heard so much about you. Like, your mayor is not going to be that much of a wingman. You know what I'm saying?
See, I feel like the mayor is kind of like a me of like, you're in it for the bit and I'm here to have fun
Oh.
and fuck that other guy.
I mean, there's no
Let's
way he
go.
would know fuck that other guy, especially because that other guy's one of his personal secretaries, I think.
Yeah, well, he's a new assistant.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I barely know this guy. I just met him at the Icebreaker Zoom meeting. So like, yeah, let's mess with him.
Yeah, I was blown away by the mayor's reaction.
I feel like the mayor's a mensch and like, good for him.
Yeah.
That makes me like him as mayor. I don't know what his policies are, but like if one of his policies is commit to the bit, maybe it's for the best.
Honestly, I do think less mayors should learn long form improv.
that's fair.
Yeah. And this is coming from someone who loves long form improv, but have seen it done badly so many times.
Oh my God.
Largely by myself.
I have to go on a business trip in a couple weeks, and they were like, we're going to do a fun activity. And they gave us like a list of things that we could choose. And one of them was improv. And I was like,
pick it,
no,
Paige. I promise.
No, I refuse.
No, Paige.
Not when I could tour the Diet Coke Museum. Like, come on.
All right. That's the right choice, obviously.
Thank you.
You have a Diet Coke tattoo. Yeah.
Right. You get to taste different variations. And I do think Diet Coke Museum won, but everyone else picked improv except me.
Yes.
I was
Yes.
like,
So you're doing improv? Hang on.
no. It's
Oh.
and we wouldn't get to do it. We just have to go see it. And I was like,
Oh, okay.
thank you. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
you want, first of all, if we're doing improv, extra no. Secondly,
No, Paige.
going to see improv, also no.
I don't know, man. Improv is one of those things where, like, if you're going to see the greats do it, it's amazing. Like your Ben Schwartz and friends, like that kind of stuff.
But you can't guarantee these are the greats. And if it's the thing advertised on Eventbrite for corporate events, they're definitely not.
I would say they're probably in that dangerous middle ground where they might be all right, you know? The other side of it, like improv so bad, like your company's doing it as like a team builder type improv,
Right.
is also the funniest thing you'll tell your friends about later. It'll be terrible to experience firsthand.
That is true. It would be a great story.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you'll be the best storyteller that night at the bar.
Exactly. So, like, I know good improvers. I've seen very good improv.
Same.
But I have more than most of the time seen bad improv.
Yeah,
And
that's
so
what
I was
I
like,
know. Exactly.
please take me to the Diet Coke Museum.
Forever. Yeah. Drown me in that sweet, sweet nectar from the gods.
Aspartame.
Paige, I did learn from this movie that the reason humanity as a species has opposable thumbs is feminism. I didn't realize that.
I mean, you're welcome.
Yeah, we we didn't descend from the apes that climbed out of trees, Paige.
No.
If not for feminism, we'd have descended from the apes that slipped out of trees.
Yeah, exactly. It was the ladies who were like, what if we climbed down and we thought through this and maybe put up like a project plan to get out of the trees?
Yeah.
We're good at that.
I guess we would have been sloths. Like, I can't really think about any tree dwellers that don't have opposable thumbs.
Koalas? No, they have thumbs.
No, they're bears, Paige, famously. That's their last name, bear.
No, but they're a tree dweller though. But
They
like
are,
they do
yeah.
have thumbs.
Yeah.
I mean, all primates have thumbs, so like rule them out. And then sloths are technically marsupials, right?
I'm just going to let her take this as logically as she wants to, and we'll
No.
see how far she gets.
No, no, we can't. We're going to end up back at the Diet Coke Museum where we belong. I choose to believe that that's the ooze I climbed out of. Caramel number 75 or whatever, some sort of like carbonated water and all the aspartame you can carry.
It's just like that TGRI broken vial from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, except
Yeah.
it's like Diet Coke.
Right. Or it's just the end of T2 and it's just my arm with the Diet Coke tattoo, thumbs up, sinking into a vat of it. And then people just being like, she died how she lived. Like, this is how she wanted to go.
Paige, you technically would have died like every bad child from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory if you died in a vat of Diet Coke.
Augustus Gloop. Oh,
Yeah.
I'll be turned
Yeah.
into marshmallows in 5 seconds.
But Paige, instead of talking about how we die in Willy Wonka's universe,
Right.
maybe we should go through this movie scene by scene.
Let's do it. These are definitely Todd's favorite credits we've ever done.
I wrote almost exactly that in my notes page. I was like, I dig these credits. I realize it is just credits. Like, I usually talk shit about these kind of credits, but it's largely just because I love this music. Like Marvin Gaye, it's Motown, it's Marvin Gaye, it's a duet. I can't remember who it's with, but it's a great song, and it's just like people dancing and having a good time with it. I mean, I wore my Spinners t-shirt yesterday, which is another Motown band from this time. I just dig this kind of music, man.
The song is Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell.
Yeah.
Often singing together.
Yeah.
And it's You're All I Need to Get By.
Yeah.
Is the song. It is a classic.
It's great.
And the credits are great. They are in period accurate costume for no reason.
Yeah, it's just like,
These credits relate to absolutely zero that happens in the movie.
I don't know.
But they're
I don't
so
know.
enjoyable to watch. So who cares?
Here's why I think it somewhat relates. I don't think it's not the three brothers or the three sisters, but it is three guys and three girls.
It is the 3 brothers and 3 sisters.
Oh, it's the same? I didn't realize because I was
Yes.
writing my notes
Yes.
as it was going on and just listening to the music.
Well, and you hadn't met them in the movie yet. So you were
hadn't,
just like, who
yeah.
are these people? Yeah.
So anyway, so yeah, it's like they're singing about like you're all I need to get by because they don't all hate, but all the guys hate their older sister, who we haven't met yet.
We haven't
I
met
just
yet.
think it's a little related, and I like it, so I'm going to defend it.
Hey, no shade from me. I enjoyed it immensely as well.
Yeah.
Credits end. Smash cut to LL Cool J's funeral.
Literally.
And I just, in all caps, is he dead? What? Out of the gate, I'm confused.
I know. I literally was like, wait, LL died?
He's dead?
Well, what are we going to watch for the next 90 minutes if LL's dead? Because we're not going to Desperate Housewives a movie with LL.
What are we doing?
Like, he's going to be in the thing, you know?
Oh my God. If they Veronica Mars'd this movie with LL and he's like, you've got to find my killer, Eva. I'm here for that movie too. That's not what we get. But we do see the funeral with Eva and the three sisters and their three husbands who he's like, I bet these are guys that killed me. I bet they're thrilled. And it shows them like partying. And he's like, they didn't actually kill me. That's not the real reason. These are their wives/girlfriends. And this is their sister Eva. And she's the reason why. And I was like, Gabrielle Union killed him? And it was like, no, Paige, absolutely not.
I mean,
But then we cut to 6 months ago.
did she kill him? I mean, not yet, clearly. Not yet. At the end of the movie, not yet.
Absolutely not. Look, Todd, you can't kill Captain Save a Horse. You can't do that. Come on.
I mean, he couldn't stay on a horse, Paige. That was his problem.
That is true. He's not very good at writing.
I kind of love that they committed to that bit, though. Like, because they do show that he's like a terrible, like, rider of horses.
Okay, Todd, I have a terrible pitch and I'm so sorry.
Tell me everything about it.
That first time he fell off the horse, he got a huge head injury, and the rest of this movie is actually playing out at his funeral.
Jacob's ladder situation.
Jacob ladder scenario?
He is dead. He is, okay.
He is dead. He's been dead the whole time.
I kind of love that reading of it. It's very dark. It's very Donnie Darko, honestly, but I love it. Yeah.
That's why he always has to wear the Kangol hats to cover the scarring from like the hoof shaped scar.
I honestly just thought he was a huge fan of Jamiroquai.
I mean, I sent you one dumb video about Jamiroquai, and now my entire Instagram algorithm is just like, Paige, did you know that Jamiroquai has all of these different feather hats? And I'm like, no, Instagram, and I don't care. I just wanted to send Todd a dumb video of a guy in a big hippie hat on a treadmill. That's all I wanted to do.
Doing the Virtual Insanity music video, but if that was a sleep paralysis demon. Honestly, hilarious.
It's hilarious because you can just see the outline of him, which is very Jamiroquai, and you can just barely make out the treadmill below him.
Yeah.
And it's that perfect mix of low quality that just made it absolutely perfect.
I enjoyed it. It was nice when I was very cold this weekend with my power not working for 30 hours.
Todd was snowed in with no power.
Yeah, I was trapped in Russia, like snowed in.
That is a great pun. Thank
Thank you.
My bigger frustration is that you guys had gotten like 2 episodes into heated rivalry and then your power went out. And I was like, I just want to talk about episodes 3 through 5.
Natalie's watching that right now.
Ugh.
I'm not even joking. When I left, she was like, I'm going to watch more Heat of Rivalry. I was like, all right, love you.
We'll talk about it later. Anyway,
Yeah.
we cut to 6 months before, and all of the guys are watching football, and one of their wives comes in to be like, hey, you can't watch football here because this is where we're having book club because Eva changed it on the schedule. Now, this becomes a big fight of like, this is my house. I can be where you're my wife. And I feel like before we dip into the rest of the movie, we got to have a conversation about this because I think this movie conflates a few different things, as most rom-coms do. Any rom-com dealing with this Taming of the Shrew makes similar problems because Taming of the Shrew has these problems.
Yeah.
And here's my issue. First of all, is Eva mostly right about the patriarchy? Absolutely. And once we get her story of like why she has a lot of these emotional walls because of what she has been through to make sure her siblings are okay, I feel for her and I think she's right most of the time. However,
I think her approach might be a little off.
her approach is a little off. And at a certain point, you have to allow your adult siblings to be adults and live their own lives. That you have to. Do I think that the men are articulating that in a constructive way? No, they're going to fake somebody's death later.
Yeah.
But do I understand some of their frustration? Yes. But the movie posits that like her having bad boundaries with her sisters is all like just motivated from not getting laid. And I'm like, oh no, you can get laid and still have bad boundaries. So many people do it.
Yeah.
But yes, so all that to say, that's who we're dealing with as Gabrielle Union. But my favorite part of this original scene is we meet like sister after sister and we watch them like come in the room to like, one of them's in the kitchen or whatever. We never see Gabrielle Union enter the room or the house. She just appears.
I think you'll find that most of the time in this movie, Gabrielle Union simply is.
Yes. And they only explain it one time. And it started to just crack me up every time it happened.
Yeah, when she walked in on her like sister and her, I guess, not yet fiance, but about to be.
No, they're married. That's the one that's
right.
in college. They're married. And then Essence Atkins and her husband are married. It's the cop and the sister that owns the salon.
Right.
They're not married.
That's right.
Which is why he definitely shouldn't be asking about that money.
Right?
Right? Anyway, she walks in on Megan Good and her husband. They are married.
Yeah.
Megan Good just happens to still be going to USC.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Which, by the way, $51,000 a semester at the time. At the time this movie was made.
That's probably what Gabrielle Union makes as a health inspector.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure she's underpaid as a health inspector.
Well, and I would hope that there were some scholarships.
Sure.
But the only reason I know that is because when this movie came out, I was applying to USC Film School.
Crazy.
And my parents were like, even if you get in, we can't afford it. So, like, I guess get in if you want, but.
And get loans.
I did not get it. Anyway. But she just walks in on them and is just like, oh, yeah, I used my key. Anyway, we need to talk.
Nuts.
And I was like, what?
I'd be like, get out of the whole house. We can talk later. But she just like lays on the bed or sits on the bed and talks, like starts to talk to them.
Yes. And here's the thing. I can understand you have an emergency key, you went over because something's wrong or whatever, and you open the door, you're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, and close the door and leave, right?
Oh, yeah. You just like leave immediately and never tell them you were there.
Or go sit in the living room, whatever you're going to do. Like, you haven't got...
Go sit in the living room, Paige.
Look, Todd...
That's low-key pervy right there.
Sometimes you leave a charger at the cottage and you see something you shouldn't have seen, and then you're going to have to address it later.
Ooh.
That was for everybody but you.
Well, probably Natalie, who's watching that
Probably
right now.
Natalie.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yes. And also, I want to address their book club, who it seems like there's no one else in their book club. It seems like Eva has just made her sisters into a book club.
Yeah.
But they are reading Beloved and then watching Beloved. And I was like, back to back. That is a rough evening.
It's a lot of Beloved. Paige, I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you commonly read a book at book club, or do you read a book before book club?
Yes.
Okay.
You discuss it.
Because I can't read that fast.
No.
Or at all.
No. And admittedly, I have read Beloved. It's a fantastic book. It is a very emotional book, right? And even talking about it and I guess, yeah, it makes sense to watch the movie after. I'm being crazy. If there's a movie of the book that you read,
yeah,
I feel like it's pretty normal to watch it.
You're definitely going to watch that, right?
Yeah, of course.
You're going to read the book and then see how they did it better on the screen, right?
No, most of the time it's the opposite.
Oh, no, I know. Almost all the time it's the opposite.
Yeah. Beloved's a pretty faithful adaptation, but anyway, but that's their plan. So they need the TV and the guys end up at a sports bar to watch the game instead.
Yeah. Because they lose the fight or whatever. Like Tim stands up and he's like, listen, I'm putting my foot down. And then it cuts to them at the bar watching the game, which I thought honestly was a fair compromise, bro. Like you can't do a book club at a bar.
Right.
There are sports bars dedicated for this thing specifically.
Exactly.
Where like you would be around other fans that are enjoying the game too. Like it's kind of a win-win.
It is. And it's wild to me that they act like they're not having fun there.
I know.
Which I think is crazy.
They run into an old friend. They trick into having like a relationship with this lady they hate.
Okay, no, they don't talk to him yet, but they observe him in action.
One of them does, because they set up to come back and meet there 2 days later.
Right, but before that happens, we watch Cool J with like one lady that he's on a date with and another lady being like, wait a second, I thought we were dating. He was like, I was dating both of you.
Paige, we've all been there. You know, like when you show up at a bar and you forgot you invited 2 ladies to the same place.
Right.
And instead of like just having that situation blow up in your face,
right,
you like really quickly, like staggeringly quickly, convince them to come back to your place and have a threesome.
Right.
Like everyone's been there, Paige.
I do love that they run into those women later, and now those
Yes.
two women are friends.
They are friends, yeah.
Or lovers, who knows?
Listen, they had a great threesome.
They had a great threesome.
Those two ladies had a great threesome.
Glad for them.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and it could have absolutely turned into a, one girl on one side of the restaurant, the other girl on the other side. You got to dress up like an old lady for this group. You got to dress up like a man for this group. Like,
I would take a shot-for-shot remake where it's LL Cool J just dating two women, but like the Miss Doubtfire version of that.
as Mrs. Doubtfire.
Amazing.
So good. But they do send an emissary to go talk to LL Cool J.
I think it's Mike. I think it's the cop.
Yeah, and I don't know why they don't have the scene right here where they're like, hey man, we have a plan. I think it's because the other two girls are there or
It
something.
is,
but they're
yeah.
like, we'll meet back here in a day and a half. And you're like, what?
Be here in 30 hours. Like, that's really weird. That's a very specific time.
All right. Shit. Okay.
I mean, he is a cop. I don't know.
I guess. Like,
He's like, be here in 38 hours.
Yep.
I love that I'm pretending I don't know that time structure. I grew up, my stepdad was in the military. I could speak military time.
I'm terrible at that time structure because I'm just like, math. No.
No, it's easy, Paige. Just look at the number, divide by 12.
Fuck you. Anyway, I do love that as they're like hatching this plan, they are like, remember what happened to Rashawn when she dated Rashawn? And I do love Gabrielle Union gets like 4 or 5 good monologues in this movie.
Honestly, it feels kind of like her character is written by Aaron Sorkin and nobody else is.
And nobody else is,
Yeah.
yes. Because like every once in a while, she's just like spitting fire. And you're just like, yes, Gabrielle Union. And this flashback with Rashawn is one of them. Because he basically is like, oh, hey, it's just a compliment in reverse. Like he tries to like neg her. And she's like, how about no, I'm leaving. And he's like, no, is this goodbye? And she just goes, no, it's hello in reverse, which is great.
Perfect.
Incredible.
Yeah. But that's like an Aaron Sorkin thing, like where
Yes.
things have to play out perfectly for them to say this perfect line.
Don't hate it.
But I kind of love it. Yeah, I do love it. Yeah.
I love it. But as she leaves, they reveal that Rashawn took that so poorly, he is now having a mental health crisis. And we do briefly meet him later.
Yes. In a not very kind way. Yeah.
Absolutely not. But they decide that they're like, she needs to get laid and that will fix all of this.
Yeah.
Someone needs to quote, hit that ass till she's speaking in tongues, end quote, which like, I've seen some of those videos.
Got to get Pentecostal up in it. I thought it was very funny when they were like, the premise of the movie was, man, Our Lady's sister's so bad, she's got to get dicked down. And then I was like, oh shit, this is just Shakespeare. That's just like a Shakespeare premise right there. Because it literally is. And that to me is hilarious.
Yes, but Shakespeare would have had a bunch of flowery language for it that 9th graders would debate for years. And this one, they're just like, she needs to get dicked down.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for getting to the point.
Or the tip.
Yeah. But we cut to in the days until they're going to go meet with Ray. She like walks in on them banging. She like talks her other sister out of having a baby by convincing her that her husband has a drinking problem, which by the way, we have seen no signs of.
Oh, and he doesn't he doesn't.
This man seems to drink normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was his dad that had the drinking problem. They even kind of talk about it, but
Yes.
they're just like setting her. She's the shrew. They're setting her up as the shrew.
Right.
So she seems like this busybody that is almost understandable just because of the way she grew up, like
Right.
having to be a parent way too young to her siblings. So it's like,
Absolutely.
it's explained away that way, but she is doing some things now that she should not be doing.
Right. And just showing up at people's houses and stuff.
Yes, it's crazy.
Yes.
Just sitting in the cuck chair waiting for them to finish. Like that was nuts that she just laid down on the bed while her sister was about to smash.
Yeah. Like the only way I would have actually really loved it as a joke would have been if she was like, you guys should stretch first.
Yeah.
Like as if like, I know you're still going to do it. I'm just going to be sitting here, but like, you don't want to pull a hammy.
How do you guys feel about notes? No? Okay.
No?
No notes?
No.
All right.
But they all kind of go out. They go to a girls' night where they're all getting their toes done, which has to be the best part about owning a salon. And then the guys go out to meet up with Ray. And this is where we find out about Ray, that Ray changes jobs every year, which like, Ray, make it 2 years. Do the corporate shuffle. But also that he lost his family. He doesn't really have any friends and family. That's kind of why he moves around. He at this point is like, cool, but why do you need me to date this person? Like, what is...
They like bring a headshot of her more or less
Right.
scowling at the camera.
Right. And he's like, what's wrong? Does she have a boyfriend who's an ex-con, or is she just like really mean? And they're like, it's the ex-con thing. Because they're like, they'd rather say that than mean. And he's like, they're like, no, she's mean. She could be difficult. And he's like, fine, just pay me enough to buy my house. At which point I was like, how much is this worth to them? And then he's like, $5,000. I was like, where does he have a house for $5,000? Like, what?
I think that it was just like the down payment on a house.
Even then.
Oh, but Paige, if you adjust for inflation, it's still laughably not enough.
Yes, that's what I mean.
If you adjust $5,000 for like inflation, it's still $8,700, but that's not enough for a down payment for a house in LA. I was like, are they like in a suburb really far outside of Chicago?
No.
Like, where are they?
Well, they're in Los Angeles for her to then move to Chicago. But like, even then, so here's what, in my mind, it was a rent to own situation because he says he wants to buy it from his landlord.
That is true. Yeah, that could be. You're right.
So that's what I think is going on. Because if he was just trying to buy that exact house in 2005, it would have cost roughly $300,000, which means unless he had an FHA loan, he's going to need a lot more money.
Yeah.
So I think it's a rent to own scenario.
Call Fannie Mae, guys. Yeah.
Anyway, he needs $5,000. And they're like, that's a lot of money, which, as we have established, even back then with inflation, $8,000.
Almost 9. It's 8.7 grand. I also really love that they're like, oh, are you uncomfortable with it because it makes you feel like a gigolo? And he's like, no, I kind of dig that part of it.
He's uncomfortable because they want him to go on multiple dates with her and like string her along and then break up with her. And he's like, I'm not a con man. And they're just like, $5,000. And he's like, all right, fine.
Yeah.
Fine. But then we cut to the sister, Bethany, who owns the salon, cuddling with her cop boyfriend. And he's like, so tell me about that money. What about the Dandridge fund? And I'm like, kick this man out of your house.
Right?
Like, no, I don't trust him at all. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is where he goes to the salon. They give him fiber.
Oh, that's right. This is where his digestive tract goes on a very like fast journey. I felt bad for him.
It is, but it is also one of my favorite jokes in the movie. Is he is mean to their gay coworker. And he's like, I would never want to date you. And the gay coworker's like, oh, let me call headquarters to let them know. And then he
does call headquarters and let them know.
Loved it.
So at that point, I was surprised at how much he was on the screen in this scene. And then just how much he was nailing the performance of him doing that as a bit.
Yes.
I was like, oh, we're going to see more of this guy. And we do. We get more of him and the other lady who works there that's not a sister.
Ormandy.
Yes.
Again, played by Kimberly, I forget her last name, but she is a character actor who has been in a million things.
Yes.
And is hilarious.
She definitely is I recognize her kind of person.
Absolutely. What is her last name?
It is Kim Whitley.
Kim Whitley, who has been in a million different things. And the two of them together are a blast in this movie.
Yeah.
But it cracked me up that her name was Ormandy, which I think is taken from the Shakespeare, as one of the side characters is like the Duke of, I think, Ormandy.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Either way, it was wild that was her name, but I love her as a character. And her hair changes color and style in every scene.
Yeah.
To coordinate with her outfit. I love it. Hero.
Yes.
We stand her. But the idea of like, I'll call the headquarters. Yeah, no, Mike. Yeah, take him off the list. I was losing my mind.
Yeah.
I was like, this is...
And then he said Agent 69 as he hung up.
Out. And
so
then pretends to hang up.
Yeah.
Loved every second of it. That's how we should treat people who try to be weird like that.
Yeah.
Just like...
make fun of them as a bit.
Yeah, we didn't want you anyway. Like, what are you talking about?
Thinking about how the mayor in Deliver Us From Eva could use some improv skills? At the Goddard School, teachers guide children to explore, build confidence, and grow in their own way. No improv required. Every child is unique, so learning is personalized and moves at their pace. Goddard focuses on the whole child, supporting social-emotional growth along with early academics. Parents find a true partner in their parenting journey, knowing their child is in a safe, caring place. The Goddard School creates warm communities where kids feel known and celebrated, just like the supportive moments in your favorite films. If you want your child to be ready for the world ahead with curiosity and confidence, Goddard is here to help. Visit goddardschool.com to explore programs near you.
Anyway, but we then cut to Eva at work.
Yes.
Where we revealed that she is what?
A health inspector. Yeah. And she is like dressing this assistant chef down. Like by the end of this conversation, he's going to feel like the assistant to the chef, no longer the assistant chef. Like that's how bad he's getting dressed down in this scene. It's hilarious.
He's going from a sous chef to a sus chef. You know what I mean? Like, and we will find out that he's not a chef. This was a plant. It's like a whole thing.
This is like an undercover boss interview for the deputy health inspector job in Chicago.
Yes.
Which, like, they don't do interviews like this.
No, not at all.
But they should do interviews like this. That would be amazing.
I would watch the shit out of this where it's like a fake restaurant.
100%. This is Todd. He's trying to get a job as a head chef or whatever. And then it's just like Todd yelling at the staff he's trying to run that night. Oh, and not getting the job because of it. Love it.
Here's my question. You and I have both worked in places that had kitchens. So we've probably both encountered health inspectors.
Oh, yeah.
How did you feel about the health inspector when you had to work alongside one?
I wouldn't say I worked alongside one. But we
worked in a place where they show up.
Yeah. Worked in a place where if they showed up, you panicked. Yeah. I would say that they were a little less fuckable than the way they're depicted in this movie.
Sure.
But very terrifying.
For me, I would say in the scenario I worked in, health inspectors, there were only two people that we disliked more than the health inspector. And it was the Department of Weights and Measures, which is similar.
And Satan.
And meter monitors.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Meter people.
Yeah.
Those are like parking enforcement. That's the word I'm looking for. Those were the only two people we liked less than the health inspector. So the second they were like, she's a health inspector, I was like, geez, of course she is.
So guys, that means Hitler is above the health inspector on Paige's list.
Oh, I meant like specific jobs, right? Hitler's not a job.
Wait,
I mean,
was it not a job? Hang on.
You could call it ICE. There's basically.
Hang on. That wasn't his title?
No.
Like the czar?
Hi, I'm the director of Hitler. Yeah. I'm in Hitler Cycle Management. No.
There's a plumbing company in Nashville called Hiller, Hiller.
Okay.
And I have often thought about breaking into their like truck parking lot at night with a can of yellow paint and just crossing one of those L's and just spray painting like a mustache on all of them.
That's like in college when the Pi-Fis who lived next door to us put aim high, choose Pi-Fi on their cars, and then somebody went and washed off all the A's. So it just said, I'm high, choose Pi-Fi. And they accused us of doing it. We didn't, but we were damn proud of whoever did. That's hilarious.
And we did it. Sorry.
We didn't. It was one of those things where like they were like, did you guys do it? I was like, man, I wish. That's great pun work. Like, that's like, whew. Anyway, she's a health inspector. And here's the thing. She is right. Germs, food safety, it's all important. It's just that whenever the health inspector shows up and you work at a place like that, you're like, I'm already working so hard and I'm so fucking exhausted.
Yeah.
And now I just have more work and I'll be more exhausted. And so that's why no one likes it when they show up. But they are important. Anyway, she reads this guy, the Riot Act, with a great monologue that she does get to partially repeat later. But as it's happening, LL Cool J, who turned down going on a date with her, he's like, I don't want to do this. Well, but he sees her.
Yeah, exactly.
And while he's like delivering the meat, and he's like, I consider this a fucking challenge.
So he is.
That's not the right reason, but sure.
I think he's actually a little into it at this point because he's like smiling and kind of like laughing a little bit at her because she is like very quick-witted and it is like, I wouldn't say it's funny because she's yelling at the guy, but you're like, damn, she's like really quick with this and that's impressive.
Oh, yeah.
And you see him even like nodding like, damn.
There are guys that are specifically into this. Like my DMs, Be full of them.
Get me a lit chick is what this guy's saying for sure.
Yeah, they're like, get me someone who will hurt me with words.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's like, okay, I'll do it. $5,000. Great.
I did love that when he talks to Mike the cop, he's like, all right, I'll do it. Now give me $5,000. And he's like, I don't have, let me talk to the guys, I guess. Like, that's a lot. I can't just like approve that. That's above my limit to approve. So it's going to have to go to my boss for sure.
I'm going to have to take this up to finance.
Right. I might have to get my CFO involved, and he's a crier.
Yeah. And then we're going to have to go to the VP of Hitler's.
No, Paige.
He's a crier. This is just for us, Todd.
Yep.
This is just for us.
Forever and ever, amen.
Anyway, we cut back to her at work where it turns out the guy she was yelling at was actually like, I'm undercover restaurant man and you just got the world's best health inspector job.
Paige, it was 2003 and they revealed that her interview for a job she never applied for
Not at all.
was more or less a punked episode, and Ashton Kutcher was not there.
No.
It was so insane that I loved it. I loved it so much, Paige.
Can I tell you that for a hot second, because her boss and this guy kind of look alike, and I did not recognize that it was the same guy from before.
Paige, wow, they all look, all white dudes
100%. I was
look
like,
alike. They do actually like have similar hairlines.
they have similar facial structures.
I think the only difference is one is slightly taller. I think that's the only difference.
That is basically the only difference. And once they were like, I was there in the restaurant, I was like, oh, the guy. And I, in my mind, was like, white guys do all look alike. Man, like that's fucking wild.
It's because we're descended from the apes that slipped out of the tree, which is why typically we hate feminism.
That's a bad reason.
I agree.
Anyway, they're like, you've just won maybe a position in Chicago.
Okay. This guy was very clear. He had other interviews to do.
Yes.
And that they have not made a final decision.
Not at all.
And then she immediately tells her family she's moving to Chicago.
I'm moving to Chicago.
I'd be like, Paige, you know this. I've gotten really close to getting jobs, so much that they flew me to the city they operate in.
Yep.
And worked with me for a day.
Yep.
And then I didn't get the job, which, yes, says terrible things about me and my personality. But it just seemed like she was putting the cart before the horse, is all I'm saying.
Buddy, how do you think I feel where I am like stone's throw from having essentially my dream job?
Right?
Which thankfully is in the same city where I live.
Yeah.
But like,
and that we can't talk about, Paige.
we can't talk about it, but this does keep me up at night.
I know.
All the time of like, I'm so close. It's almost worse if I don't get it now. I kind of wish they would have rejected me months ago.
Paige, we can't talk about it.
Can't talk about it. Anyway, here's the part that I was struggling with. Having been to Chicago this last year, loved it. Love your pizza.
Chicago's great.
Love your skyline.
Yeah.
Chicago's great.
When people ask me which is better, New York or Chicago pizza, I just say yes.
Thank you. I just enjoy pizza.
Because they're both great.
I just enjoy pizza in general.
I would even fuck with Detroit pizza.
I enjoy Detroit pizza. I've never been to Detroit. That's one I should maybe try
I have. It's nice.
to hit soon.
Yeah.
Love Chicago. But the idea, so like she is up for the deputy health inspector. Her boss is the deputy health inspector.
Right.
Right? And he's like, they offered me a job. I'm not taking it. You should.
Yeah.
That's a huge, he's like, I just don't want to move, but it's like a huge jump. And I was like, is it? Los Angeles and Chicago, both giant cities. I feel like that's kind of the same job either way.
I think for him, it would have been a lateral move. Yeah. I think and that's part of the reason why he's like, hey, I'm already in a great city. My family's here. Like, I don't need the jump in pay, because it wouldn't be for me.
Right.
But it would be for you. Like, it would be quite a bit, it would be moving. But I think that's why he not offers it, but like put her up for it.
Right. I think the reason he didn't take it is comp geo differential.
Please say more, because that is gibberish.
No, it's not. Okay, so in HR, when you're hiring for positions, you have to take into account the cost of living at the place where you're hiring the position.
Right, and that's what people say, not comp geo typically.
Comp geo differential. This is like...
I know, but nobody... That's like such an inside baseball term.
It is. California, New York, and a handful of other cities are considered like level 1 because they're the most expensive places to live.
Yeah.
Chicago's a level 2. Like,
Oh.
it's only just barely less expensive.
Yeah, no, Paige, Nashville's a pretty expensive city.
Yeah.
But I recently had to find out what the cost of living difference would be if we moved to New York. And
Yeah.
it was almost double what my salary would be here.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so realistically, if she stayed in her current position, she might actually make more than taking the other position in Chicago. She should definitely look into what the contract is offering, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Always check, especially if you're moving cities like that. Because if you live there, you know.
Right.
But if you're moving to a whole different city, like, you don't know what cost of living is there. So, like, do that research for sure.
Yep. Anyway, he's not taking it. She might. But again, she reacts like they have already told her she's got it. And which is crazy because they wait a few weeks to interview the other applicants. But the whole time she's like, well, when I moved to Chicago.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, she has not gotten the job, but she's like telling her family, like, I could take this job at any moment.
At any moment. And then when they do finally offer the job, she's like, I need time to think about it. And they're like, that's what the 6 weeks was for.
I love that. Yeah.
Anyway, so she might have a chance. But we cut to the salon and she's like, I can't tell them. Like,
And she can't because she technically doesn't have anything to tell them yet.
Yeah.
Except that she was on, I guess, the only unhosted Punk'd episode ever because Ashton never showed up.
nope. I mean, it's the weirdest bar rescue episode ever.
It is, yeah. Like, why is Dax Shepard here? Sorry. Didn't he start in Punk'd? I thought that was like his first thing.
It might be. I don't know.
Monica, look it up.
But I did half expect Gordon Ramsay to walk out and be like, thank you. You passed the test. Like, what? And then just put bread on either side of her head. Like, what are you? A going to Chicago sandwich. Like, whatever it was. But we cut to the salon. She can't tell her sisters yet. But they're like, guess who I ran into? Luscious Lucius. Lucius is back in town. And this is where we find out that he was essentially Eva's first, but she doesn't really talk much about it. And they're trying to like set her up with people. And I do think it's wild that they're like, well, there's this guy, he's 36, divorced, he has 2 kids, but he's in group therapy. And they're like, oh no. And I was like, no, he's going to therapy. Like these are good things.
Oh, do you think they said, oh no, because he was in therapy?
Yes. Ormandy says, messed up guys are the best.
And you think it was the therapy that made her think that he was messed up? Not that like he was messed up, so he was going to therapy to try and get better?
Right, but that's the thing where they were like, oh, therapy, no. I got the impression that the therapy was the deal breaker.
I mean, it might have been. It was the last thing they heard before they did that. So yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, right?
I mean, maybe in 6 months, maybe go to a few more things to therapy. Yeah.
Go to a little more therapy and then we'll revisit it.
Let him cook.
Right. But we then cut to Bethany and her cop boyfriend again asking about the fucking money. And he's trying to pressure her to like move in with him so that they could live together. And she's like, I don't think we should live together and I don't want to live together before we're married. And it's implied that they are sleeping together. They just don't live together.
Yeah. I mean, they confirmed that.
Right?
I don't think that's super uncommon.
Not that uncommon, but I also am like, that's a huge red flag that he's pushing her to move in with him when they're already sleeping together.
I mean, yeah, I thought it was about the money. Like
Yes. Yeah, I do think it's about the money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I was like, I don't love this. It felt like he wanted to merge their finances and they're not married, which also I'm a big proponent of. Keep your own bank account, lady. You never know what could happen to you and you might want to have money.
Honestly, for credit score purposes.
And for credit score purposes.
Yeah, like there's good reasons that aren't nefarious to do that.
Yes. And I consider it a huge red flag whenever a potential romantic partner is not willing to potentially keep things divested like that. Like when they're pressuring you to join finances. I'm like,
Paige, you're saying this like it's a reveal to us that the man that later in the movie kidnaps somebody, chains them up, and then fakes their death on an official police document is a bad person. Yeah, we know this dude's a bad person. He's a terrible guy.
Terrible guy. This is just for me. We know he's a cop, so, but like we didn't know he was faking a kidnapping yet. And so at this point in the movie, I was like, I don't trust him. Why he need this money so much? He has a job. He has a government job.
And probably makes a pretty decent salary. Cops pay pretty decent money.
Yeah, he probably makes more than her having to own her own business. Like, now granted, maybe it's an incredibly successful salon, but we seem to only ever see her sisters there. And I feel like they're getting discounts.
Maybe, but maybe not.
Maybe not.
And listen, a customer's a customer.
Customer's a customer. But they use the line, essentially, they don't say, why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free? But they say, why buy the software when you could use it for, and I was like, that's not the phrase, but you just didn't want to say buy the cow or whatever. Like,
Paige, just be grateful at this time it wasn't why buy the mainframe when you can get the software for like something insane
Yes.
that doesn't make sense really.
right,
The fact that they said something that was actually a sentence about technology at this time was great.
Right.
Like this is of the era, this might be before we got the famous like text on that music video that was just an Excel spreadsheet.
oh, yeah, this is right around that time.
Yeah, like that's the kind of representation of technology we got at this time and stuff.
I can find out exactly how close in time we are to that, but I want to say that we're like almost exactly at that time.
Because it was 2003. This movie was 2003.
This movie's 2003. That song, no matter what I do, all I
It's
think
Brandy,
about
right?
is you. No, it's Kelly Rowland.
That's right.
It was in a song with her and Nelly, and it was 2002.
Oh,
it was exactly
shit.
the year before this.
I love being right about stuff.
Kelly Rowland has said that she's mad that no one told her the iconic scene looked absurd when the 2002 single was released, because it's not her hands. It's like an insert. And also the name of the song is Dilemma. Oh God, it still makes me laugh. Watch it. Here's a picture. I have a picture of it, Todd, for you to view.
It's an audio medium, is podcast medium.
But the text says, "Where you at? Holla when you get here." But it's like A1, where you at? Holla when you get here.
And the one under that is equals sum A24 colon A48.
My favorite is holla when you get here, and then Excel should just be like, is this a date? Like, seems informal.
Clippy's like, are you trying to smash?
Are you trying to smash? Anyway, I hated this whole exchange where he's like mad that I don't like it.
No, he's a bad guy, Paige.
He's a bad guy.
Yeah.
But then we get to her other sister debating whether or not they should have a baby. Now, her reasoning that 52% of people get divorced before 5 years, and then after that, your odds are better staying together, is a real statistic. However, if there's one thing that breaks people up, it's how difficult it is to have and raise a child. So like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not saying their reasons aren't accurate, but I am saying don't let other people dictate why you choose to have children or conduct your marriage in any sort of way.
I would love to see the stats on how many people have their first child within 5 years of their marriage, because I bet it's a lot of them.
A lot of people.
There's probably a lot of causation and correlation we should look into between those stats.
Here's what I will also say. It's incredibly expensive to have a baby. And one of the main reasons couples break up is financial stress.
Yeah.
Is like the biggest thing people fight over. And what's going to put more stress on it than baby? So I think there's some correlation and causation in those numbers.
I'm not a numbers scientist.
Right.
But yeah, that makes sense.
I only know how to text in Excel. But like, all I'm saying is she should not be letting her sister dictate how her marriage or family goes. But there's a reason those statistics exist. Anyway,
Right.
we cut to church where Eva is the choir director, and these are my favorite scenes of Gabrielle Union in this movie.
Is it because she's just dancing and flapping her arms like a bird in a light breeze?
She's going after it.
She's not directing a choir, though, is my
No.
point. And that
Right.
is like the position she has.
Right. I think she's doing what she thinks a choir director is doing and directing from an emotional place, but not a place that would actually apply to the meter of the music,
Right.
which is what you normally would do, right?
Yeah, a conductor is conducting the people they're conducting.
Right. And I've seen very dynamic conductors, but they're still in time with the music. And that's
Yeah.
like the whole point. But she is just pulling faces. And I couldn't stop laughing. This is my favorite part of the movie. I thought it was so funny because she is like almost like angry. It's so good.
I honestly thought she was trying to make a baby laugh that was in the last like section of the risers, you know, like
Right,
it's like
right,
that kind
right.
of overacting. But I kind of loved it though. I did
loved it.
really kind of love it.
I loved it. It was so funny. But this is where they've basically set it up so Ray will meet them at church. And he shows up at the end. So it's like he's still there, but he wasn't there for the service or whatever. And then he does something kind of brilliant. Like, I hate the pickup artistry of it, but I don't think he's wrong, which is messed up.
No, he's definitely right.
He's definitely right.
Yeah.
Which he meets Eva, but he says he has a girlfriend. and then politely says goodbye to her. And they're like, what the fuck are you doing? And he's like, no woman wants a man that no other woman wants.
Right.
And I'm like, ooh.
It's like the whole theory of like, I didn't get hit on at all until I had a wedding ring on.
Oh, real.
I don't know. Can I just say this? Because I got married like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
I don't get hit on any more than I did before then. And I honestly think a lot of dudes just don't understand that like they're just talking to you.
Right.
And they assume you're not going to try and bang them because you're married.
Right.
They're not flirting with you. They're just talking to you, bro.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. I feel like people don't directly hit on me now, like especially when I have my ring on or whatever. But I do feel like I get a lot more attention from people who are like, damn, if you weren't married. And I'm like, well, I am. So this conversation ends. So like,
right?
Whatever. Right.
Thank you for letting me know I'm not safe alone with you.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I think there is a unfortunate, and again, I hate the pickup artistry of it, an unfortunate psychology to the idea of, well, someone else deemed that this person was valuable. So there must be something to that.
Yeah, it's the Dennis system's level of mastery. It really is. Like,
Yeah.
it would manipulate her quite a bit.
Yes.
Subconsciously, obviously, because he plays it super classy. He's like, oh, it's honestly, it's great to meet you, but I got to take off, my girlfriend or whatever. Like, he's very like honest and upfront about it. I mean, this is a made up girlfriend, obviously, but like,
Obviously.
he's not like throwing it in her face or whatever.
No.
It's like a nonchalant mention,
Right. And I feel like, especially when I was single, you absolutely meet people that you are like attracted to that are really cool, but then like, they're like, yeah, my girlfriend. And you're like, oh, bummer. But like,
yeah, that happens.
that doesn't stop the fact that you were attracted to them in that moment. Right.
Right.
And so like, if one of those people came back and was like, yeah, we broke up, instantly I'd be like, oh,
Especially
like
if it's like the next time you met them and your friend
Yes.
group, because the guys who are with your
Yes.
sisters are evil and are planning this behind your back, have been like feeding them with stories about this guy. So like
Right.
your sisters are talking about him. Like, you definitely would like lean in when he was like, oh yeah, it didn't work out, unfortunately.
Right. 100%. Which is basically what happens. They invite him to a barbecue.
Yeah. I do love at the barbecue, like they set up these beans as too spicy. And like,
Oh my God.
Darren, his reaction to the beans, like causes him to climb a tree.
I lost my mind when he started climbing that tree. I was losing it.
Paige, it feels like they were like, all right, just eat the beans and then react like it's spicy. And we'll tell you when to stop reacting. And then 20 minutes after they
Yeah, they
started
never
rolling,
did.
he just like climbed the tree because there was nothing else left to do in the shot. And so they just used that part of the take.
I will say there is one scene before that where she does finally tell her sister she was offered a job in Chicago,
Yes.
which is not what happened, but that is what she tells them.
Thank God she got the job, Paige. Imagine putting
Right.
your family through this and then being like, I didn't get that fucking job. My bad.
I've had to put my family through this, Todd, currently.
We can't talk about it, Paige.
But we can't talk about it. Anyway, but they react to her moving to Chicago like they are still children and she has decided to just leave them at a bus stop.
Yep.
Like, it is wild.
Like she wrote free kids on a basket they were laying in and left it on the fire like station steps in the rain.
Yeah, and it's
rang
like-
the doorbell and ran to Chicago.
Right.
Like that's the vibe of their like reaction to this.
And it's like, y'all are all adults with careers
Yeah.
and significant others. So like she can move wherever she wants.
And they react like Oliver, except they're like, please, sir, may I have some less?
Yes. Anyway, we then cut to the barbecue where we get the tree climbing,
And the beans.
which I did love.
Yeah.
But Ray shows up and hits on her is like, oh, me and my girlfriend aren't together anymore. Would you like to go out? And then he eats the beans and he's like, these are great. I love spicy food.
Yeah.
He's going to ace hot ones.
Yeah. He's going to be like, when are we getting the hot ones? And meanwhile, the other
Right.
guy's passed out. Paul Rudd's over there like, look at us.
Look at us, man.
Only last
Look at
two
us.
surviving.
Ugh.
I do love that they actually cut back to the brothers or the boyfriends / husbands of,
The brothers-in-law.
yes. Yeah. The brothers-in-law, maybe we'll call them. I like when it cuts back to them because they're like, yes, ending the Darren's like gonna have bathroom issues because of those beans.
Bean sweats.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, breathe in, clench it out.
And then Mike, who is like a cop, is like holding his hand like he's got the walkie-talkie, although it's clearly empty. Like he's not really holding
Yes.
his walkie-talkie. And he's like miming calling it in to like dispatch about the how bad his bathroom's gonna smell afterwards or something.
Yes.
But you hear an actual police squelch
Yes.
of the radio when it would normally happen. And I realized that Mike did go to police academy, but he is not Michael Winslow.
No, it's the other brother doing it on the other side. 'Cause
That's insane.
It's like they're fake walkie-talkieing
That's
to
so
each other
funny.
on either side of him, and it's incredible. It's
Yeah.
so funny.
The three brothers-in-law are very funny characters. Like, I kind of like them, even though they are
Right.
villains.
Yes, yes. But she does agree to go out with him, and he picks her up at her house. This is where we find out she likes horses and stuff, and he brings her flowers and takes her out in the truck, which she initially is like, what? And I'm like, I would love to ride in the front of the truck. I was like, this is so fun.
Paige just wants to go to dinner singing, "We got a great big convoy. We're going to go to dinner."
Yes. Honk, honk, and like honk the horn.
She gets really into it when he's like, "Yeah, I'm saving money for a down payment on a house." And she's like,
Right.
House is a fantastic investment." And
Indeed.
She doesn't uncross her arms, but she does lean in a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So they go to dinner and they go to a restaurant where she's like, oh, the manager has OCD. I know this place is clean. I'm so excited to go there.
I will say her reasoning for wanting to go to a restaurant that like actually likes her because they do a very good job is probably a very safe, like the only safe way there's no way she could ever go to a Chipotle. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like you
never.
just can't if you're a health inspector unless you're there doing your job.
They're going to give her a double scoop of norovirus like immediately.
Right?
I do love that on the way there, they both sing badly and off key, which is wild considering that it is LL Cool J.
I mean, is it what? I even wrote in my notes, not enough movies let LL sing.
That's true. Maybe he just can't.
The dude's like fun though. Like I would watch him at karaoke. I don't care if he can hit the notes.
No.
Like it's like Mikey at karaoke. Like you just watch him for the charisma, baby.
Indeed.
Yeah.
But then they do get to the restaurant where she's like, this is the one restaurant that I don't think will poison me. I love the manager. But then we reveal the manager is not the right manager. But not before LL Cool J pretends to choke to death and she tries to do the Heimlich and that's how he gets a hug.
Yeah.
And I would be so angry.
I did love that scene as like the thesis statement for the book Choke by Chuck Palahniuk.
Yes.
But yeah.
That's a movie I don't think we should do.
I don't think we can do, Paige.
No.
Yeah.
But it has one of my favorite exchanges with Gillian Jacobs of later Community fame.
Yes.
And Sam Rockwell, where she is a stripper that he meets multiple times in the movie. And she dyes her hair at one point. He's like, oh, you dyed your hair? And she's like, yeah, it turns out more blondes die of melanoma. And he's like, so you dyed your hair then? Like, that's her whole reason.
Yeah.
Love it.
The chemicals in the hair dye that protect you from the cancer, Paige.
Yeah, yes. Anyway, we find out that the manager is actually a manager from across the street that got her fired, and they have tampered with her food.
Yeah.
It's not good.
They're like, I hope you enjoy your salad. The dressing's extra creamy or whatever. I was like, gross.
Well, who jizzed in the salad dressing? But they leave. Probably a good call.
Yeah.
And she's very, very upset about it. And he's like, hey, I think you're being a little overzealous with how upset you are. And here's the thing. I think he's wrong for invalidating how upset she is. I'd be very upset.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have wanted to eat there, right?
I would have gotten up and left immediately if that was my date who was having that experience.
Right.
I would assume they also spit or jizzed in my food too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I don't think is okay is how she comes back at him and is like, you're probably poor and that means I'm better than you. And I'm like, no, whoa, hey.
Yeah, no, I mean, she's the shrew. Like she has her issues too. Yeah.
Yep.
I agree. It's not great.
It's not great. So she comes home, calls all of her sisters, interrupts everybody. They have a bad phone call and the guys all meet with Ray to be like, the fuck happened? And he's like, she didn't like me. She's got problems or whatever. And yes, I do like girls, but no. And I do love that we get a shot of Terry Crews
I know, right?
as the bartender. No lines.
Nope. But this is around the time he was getting into acting.
Yeah. But we cut to Ava's house where all of her shoes and everything are labeled. And I was like, I love her organization system.
Yeah.
But I feel like there might be some issues with control happening that she might want to explore in a therapeutic environment.
I definitely think she and LL Cool J need therapy, like for
100%.
sure. Yeah.
100%. But we cut to her at a different restaurant, giving the same mean speech to somebody while he's there delivering meat, not wheat.
No, he's a meat delivery man. He doesn't work with grains. That's a different
Right.
department.
Meat. But here's where we get the other voiceover is in this scene because he's like, I know I'm dead, but like why did I stop her? Why did I ask her out? Maybe then I'd still be alive. And you're like, oh, that's right. He was dead at the beginning of the movie. What?
I legit both forgot that he was dead and that we had a voiceover at the beginning. I was like, oh shit.
Right?
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah. But then he's like, I still want to get to know you. I feel like I didn't really get to because the date kind of went wrong. And he's like, well, do whatever you want to do. And she was like, all right. So she wants to go horseback riding.
Right.
And we kind of, as they finish their ride, we do see him nearly fall off the horse a bunch. But as they finish the ride, she's like, I can't really afford to come here as much as I'd like to. I can only come here like once a month. And I hadn't had a chance to come in a while. And that's why I said yes to you. I didn't really want to go on a date, but I do love doing this and it makes me feel better.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right. And she's like, let's do something you want to do. And he's like, okay. And takes her to play pool at his house.
Yes.
Which, as someone who loves pool tables, if you have a pool table, I'm much more likely to come over.
Paige, unless you are like a professional pool shark, you need to have more in your front room than just a pool table. He didn't even have a couch. There was no couch, no TV. Like the boxes from him moving in was still all around the room. Like, bro, unless you're about to go on the road sharking some pool, no, get a couch.
Here's what I think happened, because this is how everyone I know has gotten a pool table. They moved in and it was already there, because no one ever wants to move a pool table. One person in history buys a pool table and then everyone else just lives around it until they tear that house down. It's like that SNL sketch with the one candle that travels around the world on Christmas. So like, I think that it was the landlord's pool table and he has zero furniture.
I mean, he's not great at pool. We see them play it.
Right.
So yeah, you might be right.
Right. Yep.
He's like, you gotta go because I gotta put sheets on my pool table and go to sleep.
So I can sleep. If you angle the balls just right, it's like a massage table, just rolling around on them.
There might be some truth to that. Yeah.
Can you rack up my back? Yeah.
You gotta watch that cue ball. It's slightly bigger.
Anyway, this is where he's like, I'm kind of like you. I lost my parents. I kind of grew up without them. And she's like, is that why you constantly move? Because having, settling down scares you. And he's like, I don't know. She's like, I read a book about it. He's like, what about you? And she then finally gives us a little bit more info about her parents and the fund, where her parents died while she was 18 in a car accident. The insurance from their deaths paid off the house.
Yeah.
So they didn't have to make any payments. I assume that's the house she lives in.
I assume so too, yeah.
And then whatever was left over, they then put into the Dandridge Fund to gather interest. And it seems like they were maybe all contributing to it a little bit at a time when they could. And then just letting it sit and grow.
Oh, I kind of got the vibe that they obviously she lives in the house, so she doesn't have to pay a mortgage. She has to pay taxes on it, but that's it.
Right.
And so she's pretty much just using her salary. And she said she got a job. She started as a secretary in the health department.
And a waitress at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, she was doing 2 jobs. So even though she wasn't paying a mortgage, she was working 2 jobs to put those kids through school as they got to college.
Right, right.
So yeah, all that's kind of explained away. Is it
Yeah.
possible, financially speaking, because the fund is sort of nebulous. Because
Right.
if they needed a little bit more money, yeah, they could have gotten it from the fund or whatever. You don't know.
But that's also why I hate that the one sister's boyfriend keeps asking about it.
Oh, you mean the cop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, bro, in what world would that be your money? It'd be one thing if he's like, we're getting married, we'd like to have some of that money pay for a wedding. That's a different conversation.
Or buy us a house or something.
Or buy us a house or something.
And if he was just just your portion of it, but he's like, yo, where's that money?
Yes, I hate it. Anyway, but this is where they have kind of a conversation of you can get through pain by building a bridge.
Yeah.
And she's like, it's not that I dislike my life now. I'm not mad at the things I missed out on. I'm actually kind of glad I'm where I am. But it took a lot of me working through hard stuff to get here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is where she also gives him more information about Lucius. So that she and Lucius were dating, and Lucius was like, pick your sisters or me, which it sounds like she was dating Lucius at 18 and obviously sisters at that point.
Yeah, that sucks. But yeah, you got to pick your sisters at that point, right? I mean, it's that or they go into foster care, which
yes,
I'm glad that system exists, but I would also try my best to prevent that from happening. I understood how she ended up in this system she's in right now.
Agreed. And I feel like it's wild that anyone would ask you to make that choice given that scenario. So we already know that Lucius is a bad dude.
Yes. And his name isn't Luscious. So terrible name.
Terrible name.
But Paige, I thought it was because like he had like a I gotta move to Chicago kind of thing for his job or whatever.
Right.
But no, he still lives in this city. We run into him unexpectedly later in the movie.
Yes.
So he's just a bad dude.
But while they're having this conversation, Mike busts in and is like, give me that fucking money, meaning the $5,000, and then kind of tries to explain it away and leaves.
He busts in because he thinks he's not going through with like swooning Gabrielle Union, but
Right.
clearly like when he busts in and sees her there, he's like, oh, mission accomplished.
Right.
So he's like playing along with the bit that LL Cool J sets up because he didn't say the money for dating Gabrielle Union.
Right. He just said the money.
Yeah. And so he's like, yeah, that money I owed you from the bet, I'll pay you tomorrow. And then he leaves.
Right.
Which like, yeah, because he's witnessing what he wants to happen. So he's going to leave it alone.
Right. And so we get like a montage of them going on dates. We do see them run into the two women from the bar in the first part.
Right.
That they're just having a good day together, which I think is hilarious.
I love that their love story began with a threesome with LL Cool J.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. And I can't wait for them to open their bookstore. But he gets the money. He buys the house. They're excited. They're going horseback riding, like all this stuff together. And then we cut to her at her job where they're like, you get to go to Chicago.
Come on down to the Windy City. Some call it the Second City, famously from the Second City Improv Troupe. Anyway,
Yeah.
But yeah, like they're really happy for her. This is the moment where Ashton Kutcher should have come out and been like, you were on Are You the Next Deputy Health Inspector for Chicago TV show.
Yep.
It films in Akron. We're on just after Wayne's World, which also takes place,
Aurora.
yeah, right there.
Aurora, Illinois. It would have been even better if they showed up with a giant check. You've won.
But on the check, it says you get to go to Chicago. And then it
Yes.
says like 75,000 annually on it.
And you're like, no.
I mean, 75,000 in 2003, Paige.
In 2003 was a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be 131,000 today,
Not too bad. Not too bad.
which in Chicago might be difficult. I'll be honest with you. That's an expensive city.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was like,
Yeah.
Anyway, she's like, okay, I got to think about it. But we then cut to the guys talking about like, we haven't seen Eva, but allegedly they haven't banged. And they're like, I don't believe in that. And then at one point they also mentioned not believing in Delaware. And I was like, me and these guys have that in common. Does it exist?
I don't know that it does.
No proof.
And I've driven through it.
Yeah. It's just nothing, right? It's just blank.
I don't know. It was a bet.
Yep.
I have a strange question.
Yes.
Do you think the guy from Chicago hired her because he's a sub?
Oh, that's a movie I'd watch.
Right?
Right?
He's the USS Kinky, and he can't wait to just get domed by Gabrielle Union.
This water's 112 degrees.
Can't wait.
Ah!
He's just like, Ava, I think we need to like role play some more of you like really giving shit to like chefs that have failed.
He's just turned on by sterile gloves. She's just snapping them like Frankenfurter.
I get it.
Right?
That's a formative movie for a lot of people.
They just announced the new Broadway cast and it looks fucking incredible. And I feel like I have to go see it.
Is it Colin Hanks? Is it Colin Hanks that's playing Frankenfurter? I'm just joking. It's
No.
not Colin Hanks, obviously.
It's not Colin Hanks, but I'll send it to you after. It is a fantastic cast. I'm very excited.
I'd love to check that out.
Let me tell you this. Rachel Dratch is the narrator.
What? Second City's famous Rachel Dratch? Sorry.
Yeah.
Just because we could do the tie-in.
And Harvey Guillen from What We Do in the Shadows is Eddie / Dr. Scott.
What? Okay. Nice.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, yes. Anyway, we did briefly in the montage reveal that he has to go deliver a bunch of meat to the mayor. That's how he and the mayor know each other. The only reason you need to know that is because we're about to go to the mayor's ball where she runs into Luscious, and Luscious can get it, but he's also still a douchebag. But his wife's performance, like his wife Renee, is one of my favorite performances in the movie.
Yo, when she pulled that photo of their two kids out like a magician,
Lost my mind.
she says these are our two children, but she says it like what she's actually saying is this your card?
Yes, she says, these are our kids.
Yeah.
It's the exact line. But that's after she's like, ah, yes, you were the love of his life. I hate you. These are our kids.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God.
I think there was a you broke his heart in there too.
You broke his heart. These are our kids.
Yeah.
And he's the assistant to the mayor.
One of the many assistants to the mayor. Like the mayor
Yes.
doesn't even know
No.
him at all.
Nope. But who should show up? LL Cool J being like, Actually, I do a bunch of business with the mayor. Oh, look, it's the mayor now. And the mayor plays along.
Yeah.
We love that for the mayor.
Like the mayor read the script just a moment ago.
Yes. They take a picture. They make sure Luscious is not in it. And I do love that, like, after the mayor leaves, Lucius is like, oh, man, I'm so sorry. We got off on the wrong foot. And he's like, how about you take a rain check on kissing my ass? And I was like, oh, that's such a bar. That's such a good line. That's on the level of some motherfuckers always be trying to ice skate uphill.
I thought it was great, too.
It was so good.
I don't think it was quite as funny as the guy trying to stop Luscious from being in the photo when Luscious is
So good.
fully 3 feet taller than everyone else. Like, the guy has to put his hand straight to block his face because he's so much taller.
So much taller. But they walk out. They have champagne. They dance. He looks great in that tux.
Yeah.
Can I say, this is like, they're dancing and she's like, dipping is a form of foreplay. And then she dips him. Love it. So funny.
And her soon-to-be new boss from Chicago was in the corner like, I cannot wait until she dips me.
I should put a corner in the walk-in freezer, like a cuck corner.
Why is there a frozen chair in the freezer?
Because I'm gonna warm my balls up and sit on it bare ass, and then let them unfreeze slowly.
There's no way you don't stick to it.
That's the whole point, Todd.
Oh,
He wants to
hate it.
Joe Dirt in the middle of this, and like,
I hate it.
Anyway, can I tell you that one of the hottest things LL Cool J does in this movie is he's like, how long do you want to stay? And she's like, after watching that, not long. And then just like low register, he's like, what do you want to do? And I was like, yes.
I mean, this movie does kind of like prove that if you make your girlfriend's ex-boyfriend feel small and insignificant in an extremely public setting, she definitely gonna want to smash.
Of course. And they go back to his place, but he's like, hey, no, I kind of want to take things slow, please. And like, but they're like, and she's like, quickly, please, sir.
I mean, she's like, I think I have to respect that, right?
I
Like,
have to respect that. Yeah.
she is like, and she does respect it, but you can tell like she really wanted it to progress more. And I don't know, truthfully at this point, if LL Cool J is playing the part still or if he is actually in love with her and is like struggling with if we do it under these pretenses, she's going to assume I only did this for the $5,000.
I think it's
and
that.
listen,
I think it's that.
I do think getting paid $5,000 to smash Gabrielle Union is a job LL Cool J would take all day. I mean, the characters, right?
I feel like anyone would take that.
Yeah,
job.
sure.
Yes.
But like, I also do feel like by this point in the movie, he does love her.
Yes. No, I agree with you 100%. I feel like this movie does a really good job of the thing that I criticize every Hallmark movie for, which is they spent time together, getting to know each other, having conversations about each other and their relationship to the point that at this point in the movie, I do believe that he is in love with her.
Same.
And I feel like that's part of why we got that other voiceover of him being like, I don't know why I'm about to ask her out. I already agreed to give the money back or whatever, but like, let's go. And I think by this point, he is in love with her.
Same, yeah.
Like she is his person. And I do think it is the guilt of like, at some point, I'm going to have to tell you. And I haven't told you yet. And I don't feel great about the fact that you don't know. And as much as I want to do this with you and love you in this moment, knowing that upsets me. And so he lets her go. She goes back to her house and he's literally steps behind her because clearly the second she left the house, he was like, just kidding. I can't not. I love her. I'm sorry. I gotta go.
Yeah. And so they pretend like they don't make it to the bed, but what we cut to...
But there's like a pillow fort.
There's blankets. They had to make it to the bed and then build the bed on the floor to then have sex in that instead of the bed.
This is a thing that movies do all the time is like the floor sex blanket fort. And I'm always like, it would take so much time to like get the blankets off. The bed's right there. I don't understand.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. I think it just looks cooler.
Maybe it definitely looks like it's more passionate, but when you really think about what they'd have to go through to create that bed, like they would have had to stop making out and be like, let's grab the sheets and like build a fort on the ground. And then you can fuck me for the first time in our fort.
Right.
Like that is like the conversation they would have had to have before they had sex there.
Look, I've had sex on a floor. There were no blankets around.
Exactly. That's my point.
It's uncomfortable, but it's
yes.
The whole reason it happens is because in our case, there was no bed. But in like most people's cases, it's because you didn't make it to the bed, which just means it's whatever's around you. And it's usually just clothes flying off and people getting scraped knees.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't have a bed. Sometimes you're just stuck in a prison before Culloden in like
Right.
occupied by England, Scotland. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Right.
you got to make do with the prison bench that you have.
Exactly. How'd you know that's where it happened?
I'm describing the most traumatic scene I watched from Outlander.
That is a very traumatic scene.
Yeah.
No, for me, it was an empty apartment. But anyway.
Oh, I've done the empty apartment thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to do the empty apartment thing.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Both before you move in and after you move out.
Right. Anyway, I do love something that they do in this scene of their like pillow talk. Their pillow talk is great. It's very sweet.
They have a lot of great chemistry. Truly, they do.
Yes. He's trying to get her to tell him a joke. He's been doing it the whole movie. And Gabrielle Union has fantastic comedic timing.
I think she'd have to do it this badly.
Yes!
Because
Yes!
she does a great performance of delivering a bad joke. It's like watching the Mighty Ducks and the kids who you know are going to be awesome at hockey in 50 minutes are just the worst hockey players you've ever seen.
Right.
It's like that. Because she couldn't deliver a joke this badly unless she knew how to deliver a good joke.
Exactly. And as I was watching it, I was like, this is actually a great performance because it is hard to deliver a joke this badly.
Because you think about that ask. She's being asked by the script and the director to tell a joke badly, but also comedically, and she does.
Yes.
Like that is,
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do that. Like that's hard.
It's hard to do. Literally in my notes, I just have telling a joke badly is an art in its own way because it is very reminiscent of somebody who is just naturally telling a joke badly, but metered for laughs in a script. Great job.
Yeah, it's the cadence of a joke, but it's missing the middle bit that connects the setup to the punchline.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's kind of the point. And I love that about it because it's not about if it's a good joke or not. It's that it's a thing she doesn't do with anybody else.
Right.
And it's something that now he shares that nobody else does with her. And it's really sweet, even though it's a terrible joke, you know?
And I do think it's really interesting that at the end of this scene, they don't end as like boyfriend and girlfriend necessarily. They just end with, we really like this and we're going to keep doing it, which I think is kind of nice.
I think they definitely don't have a define the relationship conversation, but we do like, and Gabrielle Union says before they have sex in this scene that they're way past their third date.
Right, right.
So I think they have been dating for probably the 6 weeks she had to decide or whatever.
Well, and she does call him boyfriend after this, but there's no discussion of that here. There's just, I like spending time with you. I want to do that as much as we can.
Yeah.
And I was like, interesting. All right. But so then she shows up at the salon and recaps it for everybody.
Yeah.
But now that he's in the mix and he's the boyfriend, it's causing problems with the brothers-in-law again because now they're all being compared to him.
Yes.
Which I think is hilarious.
And they're at the early stages of a relationship, you know, so everything's new and exciting and like.
He joined the choir, which I think is incredible.
I loved it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's making the brothers-in-law, for lack of better terms, for all three of them as one, look bad.
Right. He gets essentially a promotion at work where he's going to start running the company, and that's great news.
That's a wild jump. Like, okay, so he goes from delivery man to running the company in 6 weeks.
What I understood it that this was a 2-man operation, that it was just him and his boss. This is kind of like my husband's job.
That very well could be. And then that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But
I read it that way where like, so my husband has like a day job at a lumberyard, but he also works in like a furniture shop where they build custom furniture.
yeah.
And it's one guy who is much older than my husband. And part of the reason he hired my husband is because my husband knows how to do the carpentry things and can still lift
Yeah.
the heavier stuff. So like eventually that guy is going to retire and he will have a client list that still needs furniture. So like I figured it was something kind of like that where he will just kind of inherit the company, and his boss was probably considerably older.
Yeah, it's like your husband is working for Klaus and your husband is Jesper.
Sure. I've never seen that Klaus movie, so I have to take your word.
You will cry a lot.
Oh no.
It's great.
But she has decided that she wants to stay and not take the Chicago job because of him. And I have a note in my notes that just says, hey girl, that's still living your life for other people.
Yeah, it is.
She has not hit her arc yet.
No, she has not. She won't until she thinks this man is dead.
Correct. Because the brothers-in-law essentially confront him interrogation style and are like, you fell for her and that wasn't part of the deal. And now she's not going to take the job offer in Chicago because she's staying for you. And you watch the realization on his face of like, she's staying for me. And it's almost like he wants to then go tell her so that she can just choose. I think if they had not interfered, he would have told her.
I think he would have gone right there. I agree.
And maybe they would have broken up, but I think he would have gone right there to tell her.
I think it would have gone better in the long run than them faking his death and all that shit.
Right.
But I mean, it would have gone badly because it is not something you want to hear from someone who you're dating, right?
No, but, and this is always the problem with a movie that has a bet, like a gambit like this.
Yeah.
Because the question is, would he have told her because he got caught or whatever, or did he come clean? And I think this is one of those situations where he would have just come clean.
Yeah.
Right? And he doesn't, because they ambush him and put him in the back of the truck. And at this point in my notes, I just have in all caps, is this how he dies?
Yes, it is.
Because funeral.
Because we cut from this to a like slow motion reveal that he is dead. There was a car accident and he is dead.
Right, he's dead.
It's a real dick move for the brothers-in-law to choose the way her parents died for the way her new boyfriend dies.
Yes. And I was like, oh my God, did they kill him? And then we see that he's tied up in a warehouse. And I was like, they faked his death, which again, very accurate to Shakespeare.
Yep.
But I was like, modern day, this has implications. They are kidnappers. They are all guilty of kidnapping at this point.
And fraud. Yeah.
And fraud and filing a false police report and whatever. And so they like go to the funeral. They let her give a full ass eulogy. And they're like, there wasn't supposed to be anybody at this funeral. It's like, yeah, but she has friends and her boyfriend just died. Like what? They have like a solo.
I think Lucius is in the back just like peeking over, like trying to see what's up.
Yeah. Ray finds a little piece of metal on the floor that he can use to kind of like pick the locks and escape. He has to take off his pants to do it. Sure.
Nobody's complaining about that, Paige.
I'm not complaining.
Exactly.
But I just thought it was an interesting choice. Anyway, he shows up at the church and is like, I'm not dead. They kidnapped me and faked my death.
I want to point out that when he opens the door and says her name, you hear the audience react to what may very well be a ghost coming in the church.
Right.
And someone in the audience does just full on scream like they're scared.
Yes.
And I appreciated that. I would be like, oh, damn, was I at the filming of this? Because that is how I would have reacted.
Well, and this is where we also get, this is the best funeral I've ever been to. And you're just like, yes.
Honestly, the only other best funeral started to like kick off when someone kicked open the door and yelled, Father!
Yes.
Only other best funeral ever.
He could have, Eva! It would have been great.
I guess there was irregularities in the health inspector pension fund.
Who should know? But this is where, and they try to argue that they're like, he wanted to break up with you, but he didn't know how to do it. So he had us fake his death. And that's not all what happened. Fuck them.
No.
But eventually he's like, no, that's not what happened. But I took a bet. I dated you for money, but then I fell in love with you. And then she's like, so you're exactly who I thought you were, and punches him. And then as he lands on the floor, Ormandy is like, so you're single now. And I was just like, perfect.
And it wasn't like she was throwing it in his face that like, you're single now.
No.
She was like, hey, I realize you're freshly back on the market. Would you like to smash? Was the vibe.
What are you doing Thursday? Yeah.
And he's like, it is Thursday. And she's like, yes, it is.
Yes, it is. But it's only half over. We cut to her like going away party at work, and he's like outside, and he's still like, I know you still have feelings. I feel like our relationship was good. I'm never going to find someone else like you. I love you. And she's like, but love is a choice. And I earned you choosing me, and you stole my choice because I did not have all the information, which I do think is a great speech.
She's not wrong.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
She's not wrong. Not wrong at all. But she moves to Chicago, and I love that.
Yeah. I honestly wrote in my notes before like all of this went down that like, LL Cool J doesn't really seem to have any family here.
Right.
Like before the promotion, which I do think, you know, that is something you might want to stay for. But like before then, you're like, I would just move to Chicago. Like he gets a new job every year anyway, you know?
Right. Before she moves, we get her like confronting her sister's husband / boyfriends and being like, they love you. It's good. Take care of them. I'm out. And I'm like, I'm sorry. We're not going to forgive LL Cool J for lying, but you're going to forgive the men who falsified law enforcement records and kidnapped him and be like, I'm sure my sisters are safe with you.
They should be in jail.
Bonkers.
Yeah.
Bonkers. Anyway, but they all are like, they're gonna have a baby. They're gonna, have sex. Like, and she's gonna read him a book or whatever.
Are you like going through what all the couples of the like brothers-in-law are doing?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the cop proposes, and I was like, no, like.
Yeah, and she seems real excited, like she hasn't read like what it's like.
Statistics?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, we cut to Chicago. She's coming out of a meeting, and LL Cool J has ridden a horse into the vestibule of a building. And this is a problem.
I've actually heard you're supposed to do it this way.
Really?
No, you're not supposed to drive your horse into a built drive. I don't think that's the right way to say it. But
I don't know.
I mean, you got to put that bitch in park or whatever before you get in the building. But he does fall off of it and land on his back and shoulder. Like,
on a marble floor.
Yeah, that is a career-ending injury if he had like been in a sport.
Yes. And he basically is like, this is your horse. I've paid to board him for a year at this place, so you can go ride him whenever you want.
I think that buying someone a huge responsibility is a lot.
It's a lot.
But it does work out in this situation for him.
It does.
And I'm glad for them.
But he does say, he's like, I'm never going to stop following you. And I was like, red flags. I don't know.
Honestly, Paige, I think that the speech is really great until he says 3 extra words or something like that. Because it's like, I'll never stop trying to talk to you or showing up at work until you call the cops on me.
Right.
Stop right there. That's fine. Because then it's like, you can control that.
Right.
If you want me to not, that's like, just tell me to not, don't call the cops, like, or whatever.
Right.
But then he says, and then I'll still do it. I was like, no, stop before you go past the I don't give a shit about your consent.
Right. But she does forgive him, and the cops on horseback show up and are like, is this your horse? And he's like, it's our horse, basically. And they're like, well, you're going to have to move it. And they're like, all right. And they ride off into the sunset to a fantastic needle drop.
They get a literal police escort into the closing credits.
Yes.
And that's the movie. So having seen the movie, having talked about the movie, what did you think about Deliver Us From Eva?
I actually really like this. Of the Taming of the Shrew adaptations, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, I like Taming of the Shrew. I like the many adaptations that have been done of this. This is obviously one I missed at the time, but I dug it.
Yeah.
But I genuinely think like Gabrielle Union's fun, LL Cool J's fun, and they have really good chemistry in this movie.
Absolutely.
So I'm here for it.
I'm here for it as well.
But yeah, Paige, do you have any fun facts for us?
Yes.
Well, here it is with your fun facts.
Eva,
Shakespeare, fun facts.
This is the second Taming of the Shrew adaptation that Gabrielle Union is in, because she is also in 10 Things I Hate About You.
She is, yeah. It's almost like she was like, hey, I just did a Taming of the Shrew sort of thing, but we could do it like later in life and do it again.
It's literally within 5 years. She's in 2 in 5 years, which is great.
That's awesome.
The Reverend, the woman who plays the Reverend, Aloma Wright, also makes an appearance in Bring It On, also starring Gabrielle Union, as Pauletta, the TV show host who pays for the Clovers to go to nationals.
Okay.
Yeah. In the script, Eva's full name is Evangeline.
I thought it was very funny that when Gabrielle Union had notes for the Reverend, the Reverend didn't like getting notes on their sermon as much as the last time I tried to do that to somebody.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, that's pretty accurate to my lived experience and why I stopped doing this specifically.
There you go. Gabrielle Union and LL Cool J have both previously worked with actress Jodie Lynn O'Keefe. Gabrielle Union in She's All That, which is also basically kind of a Taming of the Shrew-esque Shakespeare adaptation.
It's a little My Fair Lady. I mean, yeah.
It's a little Pygmalion, actually, yes.
Yeah.
But LL Cool J did it in Halloween H2O, which is the next Halloween movie that we have coming up. Very excited for that one.
Can't wait.
So, in one scene, Jackie and Daryl are reading a book together. Jackie is Megan Good, who's the one who's going to USC.
Yeah.
They're reading a book together called Color of Justice, and the author is Gary Hardwick, who is also the director of the film.
Okay.
Yeah. So Gabrielle Union appeared in a music video as the love interest of LL Cool J in his 2002 song Paradise.
All right.
Yeah. At the film's end, as 2 characters are riding off into the sunset, we see the Chicago skyline, Sears Tower, etc., looming above. However, they never went to Chicago. The skyscrapers are superimposed over downtown Los Angeles.
Amazing. That's amazing. Sorry, that's very funny to me.
And those are your fun facts.
Well, thank you for those fun facts, Paige. Let's talk a wee little bit about box office. So what do you think the production budget was for Deliver Us From Eva? And I realized just because I'm saying that, normally I know what the budget is, but I could not find the budget for this movie anywhere. And I
Interesting.
looked for minutes, Paige. It was literal minutes I looked. But I do have how well it did in the theaters. So this movie came out February 7th, 2003, and it was number 6 the weekend it came out. It was beat by How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, which is not Taming of the Shrew, but another movie that we've done. Shanghai Nights was number 2. Chicago, believe it or not, was number 3. The Recruit was number 4. And Final Destination 2 was number 5. And of course, Deliver Us From Eva was number 6. But what do you think it made in that opening weekend, again, when it was in 6th?
Ooh, in 6th, I'm going to say this probably makes about $2 million.
Paige, it actually made $6.6 million
Good for them.
in its opening weekend. So it did pretty well in its opening weekend, even though it was 6th. In its next weekend, the weekend of February 14th, it brought in $4 million, and it slowly kind of fell out of the top 10 after its first 2 weeks. But it was in theaters for 15 weeks. But Paige, what do you think it brought in domestically at the box office?
Domestically, if it brought in $6 million and it was 6th, I'm going to say that this brings in right around $17 million.
Yeah, it was $17.5 million, Paige. Like, nailed it almost exactly, at least. So yeah, $17.5 million. Again, I don't know what the budget is, but I'd be surprised if it was more than that.
Yeah, honestly, I would be too. My guess would have been somewhere between 3 and 5 million.
Yeah, I mean, I could see up to maybe 10 just because of who's in it and
Correct.
These people were already on their way to being stars, but largely just because of that. But anyway, if you adjust for inflation, that $17.5 million becomes $30.7 million today, and that is your box office. So Paige, do you want to hit us with that romance scale?
Sure. Our romance scale is a scale of 1 to 4 because Mikey said so. How romantic did you find this movie today, Todd?
I'm going to give it a 2. Oh man, I don't want to I'll give it a 2. They have chemistry. Like, they legit have chemistry on screen, which is like not normal, unfortunately, for this podcast, but I dug it.
I'm going to give it like a 2.5.
Yeah.
I thought they had real good chemistry.
It's the buildup, really. Like, they do a good job with the buildup.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's your romance scale.
Paige.
Yes.
Do you think they're still together in their not quite Chicago?
Absolutely.
I hope so.
I hope they are.
Yeah, me
I
too.
hope so.
Yeah.
I think they'd be great together.
I honestly, this is really sad, but I think because they both lost their parents sort of tragically young, they understand each other unlike most other people would understand them. So like I do really think they might stick together because of that.
Yes.
And it does kind of seem like they're both ready to do the work,
Yes.
Anyway, but Paige, this week you made us watch Deliver Us From Eva.
Yes.
What are you going to make us watch next week?
I'm going to make you watch a romantic drama from 1993 that stars a young, not quite unknown, who plays a girl mourning the loss of her boyfriend from gun violence, who goes on a road trip from South Los Angeles to Oakland in a mail truck, along with her friend and 2 postal workers, played by other people, not unknowns, because this stars Janet Jackson and Tupac Shakur.
What?
This is Poetic Justice.
I have never seen this movie, but I am very much looking forward to seeing this.
I'm very excited.
Wow. Okay.
Directed by John Singleton.
Oh,
so
cool.
Yeah.
Well, your homework for next week is to watch one of the few feature films we got with Tupac.
Right.
In Poetic Justice.
We have not done a ton of Tupac movies on our shows,
No,
and I'm
we have
excited
not.
to finally do one.
Yeah.
So we're doing Poetic Justice.
So check that out for next week, guys.
Yes. Do you have any reviews for us, Todd?
I do. This week, I'm going to read one of our Spotify comments from our most recent Howard the Duck episode.
I have not had a chance to listen to it yet, but I'm sure it's unhinged.
Paige, the episode's truly nuts. Like, if you didn't watch the movie, please don't and just go listen to the episode. Okay, so I'm going to read you a Spotify comment that when this came in 3 hours ago, I was so excited to read it to you, Paige.
Oh my God. Okay.
I'm not even joking. This came in from Shayna, and they say, my father was busted from having an affair because of the answering machine.
Yes!
Do you remember talking about this? The answering machine somehow recorded the telephone number that left the message. So when he called and left a message saying that he had to work, the number was recorded as the woman's house. Oops. Question. If Howard the Duck qualifies for romancing the pod, can't wait for Euro Trip.
Oh, I would love to do Euro Trip, actually. I have a soft spot in my heart for Euro Trip. another time, perhaps.
But what Scotty doesn't know won't hurt him.
Dinner on his birthday.
So Shayna, thank you so much for that Spotify comment. And I can't wait till we record Horror Virgin so we can talk about literally, we got more Spotify comments on that episode than any other episode we've ever done. And it is just people leaving certain numbers or ranges of numbers with no context. And I could not be happier. But we'll talk about that when we record our next episode page on the Horror Virgin this Saturday. Anyway, but yeah, if you want to have me read your Spotify comment like I just read Shayna's, or 5-star Apple review, leave us one of those things and I'll do just that. So yeah, if you guys like this show and want to hear our other show where we talk about horror movies, that is The Horror Virgin. That's the only other podcast I am on, but Paige is also on Cult Podcast, which you can find at Cult Podcast. And you can find us on social media. I am at Todd J. Awesome, literally everywhere. Paige is at Paige Wesley on Instagram.
No, it's at Rampage Wesley on Instagram and TikTok, at Paige Wesley on Twitter.
That's right. All right. So that's where you can find Paige. If you want to find the show, we are at Romancing the Pod Show, right?
Yep, Romancing Pod Show on Twitter.
Well, and Instagram, right?
And Instagram, but it's show SHO because character limits. If you start typing Romancing the Pod, it'll come up.
It'll definitely come up on Instagram. I don't know about Twitter because I haven't posted on Twitter in a hot ass minute. So who knows? But that is where you can find more of us. So yeah, guys, give us a follow. Support the show any way you can. We'd love it.
Smash that like button.
Hell yeah.
That's going to be it for us, you guys. I'm Paige.
And I'm Todd.
And you complete us.
To Shrew-pletion. Bye. Ladies love cool James nerds.